Official. Zendro Official YouTube page. Zendro Official. Zendro Official.
And in ensuring that we live collective fortunes, rely on international cooperation, and in ensuring that we leave no one behind. That is why the African Union should continue with its support for the struggles of people elsewhere in the world that still suffer under the yoke of oppression. Today, we reaffirm our unwavering support and solidarity with the Palestinian people in their legitimate quest for an independent and sovereign state. We also reaffirm our unwavering support for the independent and sovereign state, as well as the right of the people of Western Sahara to self-determination. I'd like to say, with regards to the US-inspired plan for the Palestinians, that as I listened to it, and as I read everything that's written about it, it brought to mind the horrible history that we as South Africa have gone through. That the apartheid regime once imposed a Bantustan system on the people of South Africa without consultation with them and with all the oppressive elements that that plan had. As I listened to the Arab League and as I listened to our colleagues from Palestine, it sounds like this plan, one, has not been consulted with all the people that matter, especially the Palestinians, and it sounds like a Bantustan type of construct. We must ensure that our independence and freedom as the peoples of this continent should be universal. As the internationally acclaimed musician Jonas Gwangwa sang, "Freedom for some is freedom for none." Our international cooperation must extend to the continental effort to address also the climate crisis. As chair of our work on the climate change, South Africa will prioritize all three global goals in the Paris Agreement, namely mitigation, adaptation, and support. Our union, as I conclude, stands as a testament to the power of political unity. Let us now resume the onward march towards economic integration, development, progress, growth, and shared prosperity. Our continent is definitely on the ascent. It is indeed a regeneration, as described by the South African revolutionary Pixley Kaisa Kaseme. Let us build the Africa that we want. let the guns be silenced. Let our swords be beaten to plowshares and our spears turned into pruning hooks. It is the actions that we take from this day onwards that will determine our continent's destiny. If we pursue our objectives with diligence and determination and mobilize all our people to support them, I'm certain that ours will be a meaningful and effective and impactful union. In the words of the great son of the African soil, Ngugi wa Thiong'o, today is tomorrow's treasure. Tomorrow is the harvest of what we plant today. Fellow African leaders, we salute you. Through your leadership, you have sown the seeds for meaningful African unity. Let us now look eagerly to the harvest. We will, with all the actions we take to consolidate the unity of our continent, to foster the economic integration of our continent, to empower the women of our continent, and to silence the guns. Our people await the harvest of our work. As glorious is our past, so too will be our future. I thank you. Now we have a few more speakers, 3 heads of state who've been newly elected, and we would like to invite them to make their remarks. There are 4, but due to time constraints, we request them to speak from their seats. We want to request the President of the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria to take the microphone and address us for the time allocated to him.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Mr. President, Your Majesties, Excellencies, it is a delightful opportunity I have here to address you very warmly, my dear fellow heads of state and government and member states of our continent. I would like to particularly thank my brother Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, for his stewardship and the efforts he's been making while chairing the African Union. Let me take this opportunity as well to extend my most heartfelt congratulations to my brother Cyril Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa, on his election as chairperson of the African Union for this year. I'm confident, fully confident, that the African Union under the leadership of South Africa will gain fresh impetus in the African common endeavors in order to improve and deepen solidarity and unity among the African people based on the lofty principles that have been set by the founding fathers of our organization in order to revitalize the role of the African Union at the international arena. It is fair to say that the African Union has made very positive steps so far. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, like many countries, Algeria has witnessed since its independence some hard times. And today, and thanks to the confidence the potential of our people and our youth, Algeria is opening a new page towards enhancing democracy and creating conducive conditions for its prosperity. The new Algeria that is being built will continue to be faithful to its principles and its commitments, and will from now its regime and to build a state where prevails the rule of law and democracy after the elections that took place in last December, that enabled the Algerian people to establish its popular or people's sovereignty in all transparency, is now moving forward in the path of economic, political and social reforms. This will lead to the expected changes and to the construction of a new, strong, secure, prosperous Algeria based on the rule of law, on transparency, and on the enhancement, consolidation of individual liberties. An Algeria that will more efficiently contribute to the development of the African continent. Our successful experience heartens us in the fact that settling the conflicts in our country should be based on national reconciliation and dialogue without any foreign interference. Based on this conviction, on this confidence, Algeria will always contribute and relentlessly contribute to consolidating the endeavors in favor of peace and security in Africa, and will continue its support to the initiatives aiming at putting an end to conflicts, and will continue to defend and champion the legitimate causes of the peoples that have the right to practice self-determination. As for the Palestinian cause, the independent state with the borders of 67, the capital city of Jerusalem, should and must be built. Our world is facing unprecedented challenges, and the crisis in the Sahel is a deplorable example of this reality. Stability in countries such as Mali has surprisingly been affected. In addition to Niger, which has not been protected from terrorist attacks, with the escalation of bloody attacks perpetrated by terrorists in Burkina Faso and some attempts in the Sahel countries. Instability is prevailing in the Sahel despite the efforts and the courageous initiatives taken by the concerned countries. In the Chad Basin, the countries of the region also are facing very courageously the attacks by Boko Haram through the common and multiple forces. And I would like here to reiterate the solidarity of Algeria with these sisterly countries. And I would like here again to say once again that we are fully determined to push for peace or to support peace and national reconciliation in Mali based on the Algiers Agreement. As for Libya, sisterly Libya, with which we share common fate and 1,000 kilometers of borders, the situation there is a real source of concerns for us. The brotherly people of Libya do not deserve the sufferings and hardships they're experiencing today. This is why Algeria has offered to host the dialogue between the Libyan brothers based on our principles and based on the agreement of Berlin. And in Brazzaville recently during the meeting of the high-level African Union Committee on Libya and the privileged leadership of my brother Denis Sassou Nguesso. Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, this is the deplorable situation prevailing on our eastern and southern brothers. As for the western borders for Algeria, the Sahrawi coast has not yet known any development. For many years, the UN and the UN Security Council have been supporting our continental organization in implementing the peace process based on the principle of self-determination of the Sahrawi people. Mr. President, I would like also to commend the important steps made by our continent in favor or towards the continental integration, especially with the entry into force of the African Continental Free Trade Area and the implementation of the concrete projects in order to consolidate infrastructure that is under our NEPAD. Algeria will always be ready to contribute to the consolidation of our integration and our efforts to resolve our problems with our own means. In order to take our destiny into our hands and to control our development processes, and the importance led by Algeria to some structural projects such as the Sahara Highway and the gas pipeline linking Algeria to Nigeria are examples of Algeria's interest to our integration. Algeria cannot ignore the neighboring countries or the continent, Africa, that is our continent. And if we have been more or less absent in these recent years because we were busy with our internal affairs, we do admit today, but we rather are determined today to continue our support and our close work with the African Union institutions. And I decided to give a fresh impetus to the Algerian-African cooperation, and this political will be materialized or will be concretized through concrete initiatives. I decided to create an Algerian agency for international cooperation in favor of solidarity and development with, of course, an African dimension. And the purpose of this center is to enhance solidarity and assistance with our neighboring countries in Africa, especially the Sahel countries. Your Majesties, Your Excellencies, we will be celebrating in 2 days the anniversary of our leader Mandela getting out of prison. Let me quote him. Mandela said, "We will be working together in order to encourage dialogue wherever there is conflict and to rekindle hope wherever there is despair." Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, President. We now address us as well. Your Excellency, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa and Chairperson of the African Union, Your Excellency, Mr. Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, President of the Arab Republic of Egypt and immediate past Chairperson of the African Union, my dear colleagues, heads of state and government here present, Your Excellency, Mr. Musa Faki Mahamat, Chairperson of the African Union Commission, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me start by expressing my profound appreciation for the warm reception extended to me on my first participation at this summit as the democratically elected President of the Republic of Botswana. As many of you are certainly aware, I have been a regular at the African Union summits for quite some time now, but as Vice President of the Republic of Botswana. Botswana went to the polls on the 23rd of October 2019, at which my political party, the Botswana Democratic Party, emerged victorious. As such, I was sworn in as President of the Republic of Botswana on the 1st November 2019. I therefore wish to once again profoundly thank Your Excellencies for the congratulatory messages you sent to me following my ascension to the Presidency of the Republic of Botswana. Mr. Chairman, let me take this opportunity to convey my sincere congratulations to you on your assumption of the chair of our Union. You can count on my full support and that of my government during your tenure of office. Since this is my maiden statement to this Assembly as the President of Botswana, I wish to pledge my personal commitment and that of my government to continue working closely with the African Union, together with the other leaders, towards achievement of Africa's aspirations and developmental agenda. Mr. Chairman, the challenges currently afflicting Africa are complex and varied. As such, they dictate that we should continue to put our heads together as leaders to find solutions to these challenges if we are to realize the Africa we want. The collective resolve of our continental body and indeed our various regional economic communities towards the attainment of our Agenda 2063 should be our eternal inspiration in our pursuit to deliver a lasting legacy. It is indisputable that this can be the thread that repairs the effects of colonialism, underdevelopment, and the agony being experienced by our peoples. Mr. Chairman, it is critical that we sustain our abiding faith in our continental organization, as it has the potential to tackle the myriad of challenges that continue to slow down our development efforts and destabilize our communities. Consequently, we are singularly and collectively compelled to work towards finding lasting solutions to the protracted conflicts
ravaging some parts of our continent. It is a fact that in the absence of peace and security, our aspirations as a continent will remain a figment of the imagination. The people of Africa justifiably continue to look at and to this body as their messiah to deliver them from abject poverty, disease, conflicts, and gross human rights abuses. We therefore owe it to our people to continue to evolve as an organization that can spur the confidence of the ordinary Africans by effectively responding to their needs. In this regard, let me also join my other colleagues in paying special tribute to the outgoing chairperson, His Excellency President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, for the sterling job he did during his tenure. Notable among his achievements are the successful launch of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area in July 2019, and the marshalling of the Program for Infrastructure Development in Africa, which is important, especially in driving integration of the continent. To conclude, I wish to take this opportunity to once again reaffirm my unwavering commitment towards the realization of the African Union Development Agenda for the benefit of our peoples, and to wish you, Mr. Chairman, success during your tenure of office as the chair of our union. I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, President Masisi. I now would like to request the Prime Minister of the Republic of Mauritius to address us.
Mr. Chairperson, let me congratulate you for assuming the chair of our union. Allow me also to thank the outgoing chair, President el-Sisi, for an excellent tenure of office. It is indeed a great pleasure and honor for me to be back in this August Assembly of the African Union after the national elections held in Mauritius on 7th November 2019. I thank the African Union Commission for having deployed an election observation mission to Mauritius, thus reaffirming AU's commitment to supporting peaceful and democratic electoral processes. The observer team applauded the people of Mauritius for their commitment to upholding democracy and concluded that the elections were peacefully and professionally conducted. We welcome their observations. I have 3 messages I want to convey to my brothers and sisters in Africa. The first concerns the ongoing efforts of Africa to complete the decolonization of Mauritius. I am grateful to all member states of our organization for their unflinching support to enable Mauritius to exercise its sovereignty over the Chagos Archipelago. We are extremely disappointed at the failure of the UK to withdraw unconditionally from the Chagos Archipelago by the deadline of 22nd November 2019, as set by the United Nations General Assembly. Mauritius will pursue this struggle and counts on the continued support of the African Union to achieve its decolonization as rapidly as possible. Mr. Chairman, my government has committed to make of Mauritius a green, sustainable and inclusive economy and a robust jurisdiction in line with our Agenda 2063. Investing in clean energy, mitigating risks from climate change, protecting marine resources, providing quality education, facilitating access to health care, and improving the well-being and quality of life of our people will remain topmost priorities for my government at national level. My third message, Chair, is that Mauritius will continue to engage constructively with all member states, including the small island developing states of the African Union, to move forward Agenda 2063. Capacity building is a key component of this. In this context, I invite the young people of Africa to avail of the scholarships given by Mauritius yearly to African youth to pursue undergraduate and postgraduate courses at various universities in my country. We believe that education is key to make our continent a sustainable Africa where guns are silenced forever. Thank you.
Thank you, Prime Minister. I now call upon the President of the Islamic Republic of Mauritania to take the podium.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على النبي الكريم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Your Excellency, Cyril Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa, the current Chairperson of the African Union, Majesties, Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, Your Excellency Moussa Faki Mohamed, Chairperson of the African Union Commission, ladies and gentlemen. I would like first of all to extend my thanks and gratitude to the government and the people of Ethiopia for the warm welcome and the generous hospitality. And I would like also to congratulate the Prime Minister for the deserved Nobel Peace Prize. I would like also to congratulate President Cyril Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa, for chairing the African Union, and I'm confident that his leadership and his wealth of experience will give a fresh impetus to our organization and our union in attaining its objectives. I would like also to extend my thanks and gratitude to His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, for the major achievements that have been made while he was chairing our union. My thanks are extended also to the Chairperson of the African Union Commission, Mr. Moussa Faki Mohamed, for the efforts deployed in order to reform our organization. Mr. President, I'm honored to address you today for the first time from this place to reiterate to you that we in the Islamic Republic of Mauritania are committed to the achievement of the goals of Agenda 2063 in finding and realizing an economic, political and cultural transformation in favor of a modern, prosperous, secure and stable Africa. If we are not able to have sustainable development, we cannot reach a sustainable development without peace and security in our continent, especially in Libya and the Sahel region currently. Mr. President, the Libyan crisis is escalating and its effects are growing, not only for Libyans who do not deserve the hardships they are and the sufferings they are living today, but to all the African continent and the Sahel countries in particular. Therefore, we need to expedite or to speed up the endeavors to resolve the situation. I would like here to commend the work made by the Committee on Libya, headed by His Excellency Sassou Nguesso, the President of Congo. that has flagged the complex and complicated situation in this country and the growing dangerous nature of the situation. The G5 Sahel countries, in cooperation with its partners, has initiated a roadmap in order to consolidate its efforts to counter terrorism and in order also to support its joint troops and also, and in this respect, the first General Assembly of the Sahel Alliance that will take place on the sidelines of the summit of the G5 and that would be hosted by my country is all the preparatory works are under way. In addition to achieving development, we need also to improve our intellectual levels. And in this respect, the African scientists have met recently in order to promote the spirit and the culture of tolerance. And during this conference, there has been an appeal for the promotion and the prevailing of the culture and the spirit of tolerance in our countries, in our continent, in order to combat extremism, violent extremism and fanaticism that prevail in our African societies. I'm confident that our continent is able to address all these challenges and to attain the goals of Agenda 2063. I thank you very much for listening. Assalamu
alaikum. Thank you very much, President. We now move to the last presentation before we break for lunch and before we end the open ceremony. We want to get a presentation from His Excellency Ramtane Lamamra, the AU High Representative for Silencing the Guns, to come forward to launch the African Union theme for 2020, which is about silencing the guns. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Your Excellency, President Cyril Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa and Chairperson of the Union, Your Excellencies, Heads of States and Governments, distinguished Heads of Delegations, Your Excellencies, former Heads of States and Governments and former leaders of the AU, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. I am deeply honored to introduce the theme of the year to this August Assembly. Allow me first to commend the Chairperson of the Commission, His Excellency Musa Faki Mohammed, for his leadership on the theme of the year and for the objectives to be achieved. I would also like to commend Commissioner for Peace and Security Ismail Sherki and his team in the Peace and Security Department for their daily work on the theme of the year, silencing the guns, creating conducive conditions for Africa's development as reflected in the orientation concept note and in its matrix of activities. A similar tribute, well-deserved tribute, is to be paid to the other commissioners, Deputy Chairperson of the Commission, and department staff of the African Union Commission for their unwavering contributions to the multi-dimension task of silencing the guns in the continent, as well as to the members of the Peace and Security Council, and indeed for our international partners. Looking at the achievements made in promoting peace and security in the continent in recent decades, particularly since the year 2004, with the operationalization of the AU Peace and Security Council, the noble objective of silencing the guns and ending wars in the continent is achievable. In retrospect, from around 30 active conflicts in 2004, we must celebrate the fact that we are now addressing fewer conflicts than then. I must state with emphasis that a lot of work has therefore been done and continues to be done to ensure a conflict-free Africa in line with the aspirations enshrined in the solemn declaration adopted by this August Assembly on 25th of May 2013.
ጤና ይስጥልኝ ተመልካቾቻችን 33ኛው የአፍሪካ ህብረት የመሪዎች ጉባኤ ተጀምሯል። የዘንድሮው የጉባኤ መሪ ቃል ግጭትና ጦርነትን በማስቆም ለአፍሪካ ልማት ምቹ ሁኔታን ማመቻቸት የሚል ነው። በአጠቃላይ በጉባኤው ከ30 የሚበልጡ የአፍሪካ ሀገራት ፕሬዝዳንቶች፣ ጠቅላይ ሚኒስትሮች፣ የሰባት ሀገራት የውጭ ጉዳይ ሚኒስትሮችን ጨምሮ የሀገራት ምክትል ፕሬዝዳንቶች በመሳተፍ ላይ ይገኛሉ። ጉባኤው በቆይታው ከመሪ ቃሉ ጋር በተያያዘ የተለያዩ ውሳኔዎችንም ያሳልፋል ተብሎ ነው የሚጠበቀው። በተጨማሪም የአጀንዳ 2063 አፈጻጸም የሚገኝበትን ደረጃ በተመለከተም ለመጀመሪያ ጊዜ የተዘጋጀውን አህጉራዊ ሪፖርት መሪዎቹ የሚገመግሙም ይሆናል። ሪፖርቱ በ31 የአፍሪካ ሀገራትና በ6 ቀጠናዊ የኢኮኖሚ ማህበረሰብ ላይ በአፍሪካ ዘላቂ ልማትና የኢኮኖሚ እድገት ለማምጣት በአጀንዳ 2063 የተቀመጠውን ግብ ከማሳካት አንጻር የተከናወኑ ስራዎችም ይዳሰሳል። እንግዲህ ጉባኤውን እየተከታተሉ የሚገኙት ሪፖርተሮቻችን ዳዊት ብርሃኑና አንዋር አህመድ ተጨማሪ መረጃ ሊያደርሱን በቀጥታ መስመራችን ላይ ይገኛሉ። እንዴት ዋላችሁ ዳዊትና አንዋር? እንግዲህ በጉባኤው ላይ የተለያዩ ሀገራት መሪዎች ንግግር አድርገዋል። በተለይ ደግሞ ድህነትን ስለማጥፋት፣ የአየር ንብረት ለውጥን ስለመከላከል እንደዚሁም ደግሞ የደህንነትና የጸጥታ ጉዳዮች በዋናነት ተነስተዋል። በተለይ ደግሞ የጉባኤው መሪ ቃልም ከዚሁ ጋር ተያያዥነት ያለው በመሆኑ ተጨማሪ መረጃዎችን ልታደርሱን ትችላላችሁ።
መልካም እንግዲህ ተመልካቾቻችን እንደምን ዋላችሁ? ራቢያም እንደምን ዋልሽ? እንግዲህ የ33ኛው የአፍሪካ መሪዎች ጉባኤ በዛሬው ዕለት ተጀምሯል። ቀደም ብለሽም እንዳልሽው ከ30 በላይ መሪዎች በተለይ ጠቅላይ ሚኒስትሮች፣ ፕሬዝዳንቶች፣ የውጭ ጉዳይ ሚኒስትሮች እንዲሁም ደግሞ ተሳታፊ የሆኑ እዚህ በአፍሪካ ህብረት በህብረቱ አዳራሽ ተገኝተው ዛሬ እንግዲህ ከ6 ሰዓት አካባቢ ጀምሮ ነው ጉባኤው የተጀመረው የመሪዎቹ ማለት ነው። በዚህ እንግዲህ በዋናነት የተነሳው መሪ ቃሉ ያው ዘንድሮ በተለይ በ2020 በአፍሪካ ምንም አይነት ጦርነት የማይሰማበትና አፍሪካ ወደ ልማት የምትዞርበትን ጽንሰ ሀሳብ የያዘ መሪ ቃል ነው የያዘው። ከዚሁ ጋር በተገናኘ እንግዲህ የተለያዩ የህብረቱ ኮሚሽነር ሙሳ ፋቂ ማህማት እንዲሁም ደግሞ የህብረቱ የወቅቱ የሊቀመንበር አልሲሲ ተሰናባቹ ማለት እንደዚሁ የደቡብ አፍሪካው ፕሬዝዳንት ራማፎሳም እንደዚህ መልእክቶቻቸውን አስተላልፈዋል። በእነዚህ መሪዎች አማካኝነት እንግዲህ የተላለፉት መልእክቶች ነው ወደ እናንተ ወደ ተመልካቾቻችንም ለማድረስ ነው የምንሞክረው። በተለይ በዋናነት እንግዲህ በ2020 አፍሪካውያን የሚጠይቋቸው በርካታ ጥያቄዎች አሉ። እነዚህ ጥያቄዎች ለመመለስ በሚደረገው ጥረት ግን ትልቁና ዋነኛው የሰላምና የደህንነት ጉዳይ ነው። እነዚህን የሰላምና የደህንነት ጉዳይ ደግሞ አሁን ላይ በተለይ አፍሪካን እየተፈታተኗት የሚገኙ የጦርነት ጉዳዮች፣ እርስ በርስ ግጭቶች፣ የአየር ንብረት ለውጥ ጉዳይ እንዲሁም ደግሞ አሁን እየመጡ ያሉ ተላላፊ የሆኑ በሽታዎችም እንዲሁ ተጠቃሽ ናቸው። እነዚህን ለማጥፋት በሚደረገው ጥረት የአፍሪካውያን አንድ መሆን ወሳኝ እንደሆነም የተነሱ ጉዳዮች ናቸው። ለምሳሌ ሙሳ ፋቂ ማህመት ያነሱት ዋና ዋና ጉዳዮች አሉ። በ2019 እና 2020 በአፍሪካ አህጉር ውስጥ ወደ 14 ምርጫዎች ይደረጋሉ ወይም ደግሞ የተደረጉም አሉ። በእነዚህ ምርጫዎች ወይም በሚደረጉትም ጭምር ዜጎች ምንም አይነት ጉዳት ሳይደርስባቸው የሚፈልጉትን መሪ መምረጥ አለባቸው። በዚህ ሂደት ታዲያ ምናልባት በስጋትነት የተነሱ አሁንም የእርስ በርስ ግጭቶች እንዳይኖሩ ከደጋፊዎች መካከል ምርጫዎች ዲሞክራሲያዊ እንዲሆኑ በማድረግ ሂደት እነዚህ መሪዎች ትልቅ ኃላፊነት አለባቸው። ቢያንስ ለዜጎቻቸው ማሰብን ትኩረት ማድረግ እንዳለባቸው የተላለፈ መልእክት አለ። ሌላው እንግዲህ ትልቅ የአፍሪካ ቀንድ ስጋት የሆነው ደግሞ የሱዳናውያን ጉዳይ ነው። የደቡብ ሱዳን በተለይ ተቀናቃኞች በተለይ ከሳልቫኪርና ሪክ ማቻር መካከል ያለው የሁለትዮሽ ግንኙነት ይታወቃል። እንግዲህ ኃላፊነትን የመረከብ ጉዳይ። ስለዚህ እነዚህ ሀገራትም ባቸው ሱዳን ላይ በአሁኑ ሰዓት በተለይ ደቡብ ሱዳን ላይ ዜጎች በከፍተኛ ሁኔታ የሰብአዊ መብት ጥሰት እየተደረገባቸው ይገኛሉ። ሴቶች እየተደፈሩ ነው የሚገኙት። ዜጎች እየተሰደዱ ነው የሚገኙት። በዚህ ጉዳይ ላይ መሪዎች በ2020 ፍጻሜውን ማግኘት ያለበት ጉዳይ ነው የሚል ነገር ነው የተነሳውና እንግዲህ ስምምነት ይኖራል ተብሎ ነው የሚጠበቀው። ዳዊት
መልካም እንግዲህ በርካታ ጉዳዮች ነው ቀደም ስትልም አንተ ያነሳው። የተባበሩት መንግስታት ድርጅት ዋና ጸሐፊ አንቶኒዮ ጉተሬዝም በጉባኤው ላይ ተገኝተው የመክፈቻ ንግግርም አድርገዋል። በተለይም በዋናነት እሳቸው ምንድን ያሉት በአፍሪካ ያሉ ችግሮችን በአፍሪካ መሪዎች መፍታት እንደሚቻል ነው አጽንኦት ሰጥተው ሲናገሩ የነበረው። በተለይም አገሪቱ እያጋጠማት ያለው የጦርነትና የግጭት እንዲሁም ደግሞ ከምርጫ ጋር ተከትሎ የሚከሰቱ የተለያዩ ግጭቶችም አሉና ምርጫ በመጣ ቁጥርም በተለይም
ተመልካቾቻችን ከአዲስ ሚዲያ ኔትወርክ አዲስ ቴሌቪዥን የተለያዩ መረጃዎችን ወደ እናንተ የምናደርስ ይሆናል። ጉባኤውን እንድትከታተሉ ጋበዝኩ።
And the results achieved in the past decade or more. The African Union needs more than ever to spearhead and strengthen its conflict mediation efforts and lead action aimed at more operationally bringing together all African and international actors, including the United Nations, in conducting enhanced collaborative efforts to silence the guns and create conducive conditions for social economic development in the continent. This should be translated into concrete steps to be immediately undertaken to silence the guns in Libya, in Mali, in the Sahel, Lake Chad Basin, as well as in the Somalia and other hotspots as much as possible in or during the year 2020. Africa has the will indeed and the ability to defeat terrorism as it has defeated colonialism and apartheid. The African people do expect such victory that will indeed lead to a permanent silencing of the guns in the continent. In conclusion, I would like to emphasize the need to review and adjust our conflict prevention and resolution tools in order to effectively and efficiently respond to the ever-changing nature of conflict, violence and criminality on the continent. A number of proposals to this effect have been made this morning, and I hope that they will retain the full attention of the summit. I reiterate once more that silencing the guns is an achievable task that can help us to promote the sovereignty of our people and to further advance our Pan-African integration, unity and development objectives. I wish every success to your summit. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Thank you. That then speaks to the launch of the AU theme for 2020, Silencing the Guns, creating conducive conditions for Africa's development. We'd like to thank His Excellency Lamamra for the presentation. This then brings an end to our open session. There is a moment for lunch now, and we would like to propose that all of us can go and have our lunch and return at 1700 hours, when we will resume our closed session, which will go on until 1830 hours, whereafter we will then have our dinner. So I am not about to overwork you, and all I want to do is an hour and a half after you have enjoyed your lunch so that we can get through our work. And bon appetit. Thank you very much indeed.
Zendro Official. Zendro Official YouTube page.